Well, let's start with the fact that I'm new to Singapore. When I came to Singapore, I was new here. So I had to adapt to the Singapore culture, understand the people, and then form relationships and start my business. So it's nothing new for me to go into new market and there again do the same thing, which is basically go back to the basics of the fact that we're dealing with human beings, and human beings all have essentially the same values. Everyone's a good person, everyone likes their culture, everyone's proud of their country, and they have a certain way of working. You understand that, and then you got the formula right. So essentially when we go into a new country, we hire local people to work the markets, to be the client interfaces. Right? What we do is that we pass on our processes, our way of working, our values, right, down to that organization in that other country. That combined with the expertise that we have in our delivery and the track records that we have is what helps us to succeed. So the critical thing is not to force our way of thinking and our way of relationship building, right, in a country into another country. Like for example, I'm thinking of going to Japan and Germany. There is no way that I think I'll be able to succeed in those countries with someone from Singapore, because these two cultures are totally different, and whatever studies I've done indicate that I will need to have local people, again, leading the organization, being the face of the organization. So I'm going to respect that. So when we go into Germany and Japan, we will go in either with a local company that we've bought, right, or we'll create an organization that is largely local. So, different countries have different ways of looking at the outside world. Whereas, Malaysia, being close to Singapore, is more amenable to seeing a Singapore Indian or a Singapore Chinese coming in and setting up shop. In a country like Germany, they would much rather deal with the German. So I respect that fully, because the years of generations and of culture that is there, and we have to respect that, and we have to work around it. We ourselves have about 18 nationalities employed within Emerio. So one is trying to create an environment where we not only understand and tolerate diversity, but in fact that we really embrace it, so that we can be so-called fit for the international world. We can't be too inward looking, we can't be too parochial and hope to succeed. Especially because we are not a Fortune 50 company which can sort of, because of its stature, thrust its ways and ways their thoughts and their products and their processes onto people. We are a services business, and we definitely have to adapt to the cultures that we want to do business in. I'll talk about 3 basics that any entrepreneur needs to take care of when deciding to go overseas. And these have worked well for me, and this is what I've learned over the last 4 years of setting up countries and operations in 7 or 8 countries. One of the first thing is that when you've decided to go to another country, you must be committed to that country. And that commitment comes in terms of your willingness, right, to do what it takes, right, to succeed there. Now this involves a certain level of threshold of investment, be it time, be it money, be it resources, which if you don't spend that threshold, you don't cross that threshold of spending of either of these 3 resources, then you may as well not go there. Because in order to succeed, there is a bare minimum level of effort that you need to put in. Like for example, when you want to undertake a marketing or an advertising campaign, let's say in a country, there is a certain level that you need to do, that you need to achieve before you can get any kind of recognition, any kind of awareness of your brand. So one is be committed, the other is have a clear idea that you have to exceed the threshold, the minimum threshold to succeed. And the third thing is, once you're there, absolutely make sure that you understand the local culture and that you have local content in your local business.